Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today. This is a reasonably quick card that I'm going to show you today, and I hope you enjoy it. Just a couple of things before I start, just my normal little spiel at the beginning. I have a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. In there are all the cards, a lot of the cards that I do in my workshops and classes. It's a page so you can follow along and watch what's in there. I have a Facebook group. This is a large group. In there are all the videos. I put the links to these videos as well as my live videos that I do on a Saturday morning. They're all, the live videos are in the featured tab, and the links for these are I will just post in the group. The PDFs for these are all in the files tab in that group, along with the live video PDFs. They're in the files group as well, in the files tab. All the tabs are at the top of the group, so you can hop in there and have a look. There's a photos tab as well. There's lots of cards in there. Anytime anyone posts a picture of their card or cards or projects, the photos go into the photos tab at the top. So you're welcome to have a look in there. If you do wish to join this group, there are two questions that you need to answer. One is why you wish to join the group, and the other is that you agree to the rules. If you don't see those questions on the device that you're on, please go to another device. If you're on your phone, which more than likely you won't see the questions on your phone, if you have an iPad or a PC, laptop, hop onto that and find the questions. If you don't answer those questions, you will be rejected. I'll send you back a little notification to say that you didn't answer the question, so just be aware of that. And if you are watching today for the first time, my YouTube channel is called Creative Gems. Love you to subscribe. I'm nearly up to 4,000 members, 4,000 subscribers on my channel. So love every bit of what I do. That is all the business side out of the way, and we're almost up to Christmas. I am going away for a few weeks over Christmas, but I shall record some videos that will be scheduled for the Christmas break, so you can still watch along any that I do. This one, the one I'm going to do today, this one's a birthday card for a special friend, but the one I'm doing today is a Christmas card, and it's for a friend as well. So it's called a vertical double Z fold, or Z fold, whatever you prefer to say. So it's vertical, meaning it goes this way. Normally a Z fold would sit like this. You can change, so long as you change the direction of your greetings to go this way. But it is a double Z, so you've got your Z here and then another one there, so that's the double Z. I have done one years ago, totally, I think it was a triple Z fold, which has got two panels at the front here instead of the one. They're narrower and there's two sections across, but this is just the double one. Very easy to do. Excuse me. There's nothing on the back. It's all in the front. I'm going to do it a little bit different as well, where I've got these three white mats. The two up the top here, I'm doing in very vanilla. All my mats are in very vanilla. And I am putting some DSP on these two up here. This here is your writing panel for you to write your greeting down the bottom. So we shall get started. And as usual, I have all my measurements typed up for you. You can either take a screenshot of that, or the measurements will be in the description box of this video today. The full PDF will be in that Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials group. So we shall get started. I haven't scored anything, but I've cut everything ahead of time. Now we've got two main base parts. The back one there is 11 inches by 4 1/4. That's that one there. I'll give you all the scoring in a minute. There's only two lots of scoring on these two pieces here. The other Z fold section at the front is 9 by 3 1/4. That's in Old Olive, and I'm using one of my favourite Christmas papers. I think it's called Golden Greenery or something. Seasons of Green and Gold, I think it's called. It's one of the online exclusives. So the mats I've done in Very Vanilla. This one here is down the bottom. It will go in down the bottom there. It measures 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have these smaller ones. There's 3 of, or 2 of first, are the 2 at the top here. One in under there and one on the top of there. They're the longer ones. And we've got all the pieces here. That's these 2 here, 4 inches by 2 1/2. There's 2 of those. And then we have the 3 front ones, which 2 of them I'm putting designer series paper on. 1, 2, 3. I've got stuff everywhere now, as usual. 3 by 2 3/4. There's 3 of those, and they're on that front Z fold. DSP 5 by 3 3/4 is this larger piece that's going down the bottom underneath the top fold. Then 3 3/4 by 2 1/4 is these 2 here, which are up the top of that again, and they measure 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. There's 2 of those. And then this one here, I've done these, and they will go on this one here and this one here. I'm going to decorate on the top of them, but I didn't just leave the mat underneath. I've put some DSP on the top just to glam it up a little bit more. And they're 2 3/4 by 2 1/2, and there's 2 of those. Just make sure we end up in the right direction. And then I've got a whole pile of little leaves that I've cut out, and some decorations that some greetings, that I've embossed, gold embossed with the heat gun. So that's all my decorations, and I've got some embellishments to put on. I'll show you the stamp sets as we go that I've used, and that's all the measurements for that. Now we shall do some scoring. We'll do the base piece first. This one, which is 11 by 4 1/4. We're scoring it on the long side at 2 3/4. I'll move that down a little bit so you can see. 2 3/4, which is there, and 5 1/2, which is the halfway mark. Now, if you don't want to score, all you have to do is fold this in half. What have I done? I've done that wrong. 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. I didn't go 2 3/4 first. 2 3/4 is there. The 5 1/2 is correct. What I will do is just push that score line out. I even get the scoring right to start with. That's nice. I'm just going to push that one out. I don't know what I did the first score line. We'll start that bit again. That'll be underneath our mats anyway. So 2 3/4, which is there. I had the 5 1/2 right, and 5 1/2 over there, which is correct. Because when I went to explain how you can just fold it, you can fold it in half like that. This is where I knew it was wrong. But you can't even see that score line now. So long as you push it out before you fold it, it won't show. And then this one will go back on itself, like so. And then we end up with that. And that score line that I mistakenly made is underneath anyway, so you won't see it under there. Then this one here, the smaller piece, we'll make sure we get this one right. We're just doing it at 3 inches and 6 inches. So that's 3 inches there and 6 inches over there. So that's basically in thirds for that one. That's all the scoring there is to do. Now this one will go one that way and one that way, so you end up with your Z again like that. And you can burnish those really well so that they sit down nicely when you go to put your card together. So that's your 2 Z folds. This one here, it's going this way. You've got a long section at the back there and that, and this one is your Z on that one. So we'll decorate this bottom piece first because we need to do that before we put any of the other mats or the other section on the top. So I shall just get these pieces out and we shall do some liquid glue on these with our silicone mat so we don't get glue all over our workspace. Laura's a pretty tidy crafter. I don't like a lot of mess, although I do get in a mess occasionally, but I always tidy up. I'll make a card or cards if I'm doing multiples, and I clean up when I'm finished. Nothing worse than starting another one and you've got a big mess around you to start with. That's not me anyway. Sorry if I have my head in the road then. I'm just centering that on there. You've got the 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Just be careful, mindful. This is directional paper, you can see the leaves running up and down. Make sure you've got your direction the correct way if you're using directional paper. You could use either. You could change this, as I mentioned before, change it to not vertical, horizontal the other way if you wish. All you need to do is make sure you stamp your greetings the other way. I'll show you when we get to that section anyway. So that piece is going on there. Then we have these two onto these two mats. Some of them I've seen do this fold and they haven't put anything in here, and I'd like, if you're going to go to a lot of trouble of making a really pretty card, why not decorate it fully? You can see under there it looks a bit blank underneath. That top Z fold, you could make that narrower if you wish. It doesn't have to be that wide. That way you would see more of the underneath panel through it instead of having it big wide panels like that. But I do like this style. So that's that one, and this one's the same. These are going on those other two sections. Lots of ladies share in my group their creations. If you go into the files tab in that group, there's lots and lots of PDFs in there for over the couple of years that I've been doing these. So there's lots to choose from. 99.9% of the videos that I do have a PDF that goes with them. There's not very many. There's a couple of ladies have put PDFs up of their own. So a tutorial of a card that they've made. You can open the file and see what it looks like if you want to recreate that type of card. So don't be afraid to have a look through all of that. A lot of the ladies, maybe a lot of the ones that are watching are already members in my group. I'd love to have you in there if you're interested in any sort of card making. It's not exclusive to Stampin' Up, this group. It's a share group that we share all sorts of projects. Some people do hand painting with cards. There's that diamond painting, all sorts of things. So, excuse me, it's not just cards. But if it's not for you, if you're already in that group and that group is not what you expected, I won't be offended if you want to take yourself out of the group. That will not offend me at all. So that's those 3 panels done. Looks quite pretty already. So then we can go ahead and do this one. Now just be mindful where it's going to sit. So that's going to sit on top of there, and this is going to come down here. So we need, I'll just have a mouthful of water. So I'm not croaking all the way through the conversation. It's going to sit like that. So when you open it, all your panels that are decorated are on the front. There's not one on the back and a couple on the front. So just make sure you put them all on the correct side. And these are not square, so make sure you get get them cut correctly. Lay them on here so that they are in the right direction, like so. And I'm leaving this bottom one blank for you to do your writing panel. If you leave one of these other ones, it's really hard to write on them. If you do it, leave a different one blank. So those three are going like that. We shall put some liquid glue on this. Even the back of this paper is pretty, but I wanted to accent a little bit more gold in my card, so I thought I'd use this paper as well. It's quite pretty. It's one of those. I was going to stamp something on this, but I changed my mind. I thought it's quite small as it is, and I don't always need a lot of space for writing a greeting or writing my message, so it's enough for me, but it might not be enough for some people. You could always use 2 panels if you tend to want to write a lot more than what you do. You could leave this centre one blank as well. It's just a little bit more difficult to write on because it doesn't sit flat, as you'll see here. You can still write on it. It's quite solid, quite thick there, so you can still write on it easily, but yeah, it's not as easy as the bottom one. So we shall put those 2 in there, and once you get all these together, it's just a matter of getting that piece into the main card base. I've got some leaves I'm going to put on the top of these just for a little bit more texture on it. I said in my intro I'm going away for, well, it's 4 weeks actually, a month, a week before Christmas and then another 3 weeks after. We go down the coast with our families. Lovely time of the year. I love spending time with my family. Some grandkids and my daughter and her husband. We get apartments down there that we stay at. It's a great time. We do lots of fun activities and play cards, a lot of card playing at night because we tend not to go out a lot at night and not socialite people. So that's going to go like that. We will decorate these while the whole thing is flat. Now I've got a couple of these. I'm going to cut the bottoms off these. That little bit can come out. I'm putting these like this, but I want them right down so that they're not going to impede. I'm just going to tip it a little bit like that, and I will cut the stem. I'm going to put the greeting over the top of this. I'll cut the bottoms off those and probably the bottom off these because the greeting will cover that. So I was going to try and get them in different directions, one like that and then another one like so. Need to spread it a little bit so that we can see all the leaves. And then we've got this one at the top going the other way. Wishing you a Merry Christmas on the bottom one. So that will sit like so. I'm going to put them all flat as I could do. This one will be the front one, the top one, so I might sit it up. I'll glue these 2 together first and we can pop it up on dimensionals because it's the outside one once you put the card together. Just a little bit of glue on there. Put those 2 together. And then I shall put some dimensionals on the back of that and pop it up. I love my dimensionals, and I'm not skimpy on them because if you're going to do a card, you want it to look nice. So it's no good if it's going to flop down in the centre and not sit up for you. That should be enough. take all the backs off these. I usually have my little scrap dish out, but I'll just put them to the side this time. Pick it all up later. So this one I've got this way. I'll just pop it right to the top of there. And then this can hop up on dimensionals as well, but I'll only need them down the bottom corner. We can judge where to put them as we go. And then I can pop a little bit of glue, that'll be fine there. And I'll pop a little bit of glue in the centre just to hold it together. Up the top here, it'll attach itself to the leaves. Just like so. Just making sure it's not it wouldn't matter if it hung out past the perimeter of this part, because it's got a fair width on here that you can still adjust. And then we'll do the same with this one in the other direction. Oops, some of the bits I cut off. Sometimes I do a circle at the back to hold my arrangement together, but this one, because it's quite open, it doesn't need it. I usually cut a circle of cardstock to give it a base at the back, and then it gives you something to attach all your pieces to. This one's, I would use the edges of those later. Another one here. And I'll just cut a little bit off one of these. I never throw away any little bits of dimensional. We can always use the corners. Take all the backs off those ones. And we'll pop this going this way. Just, that's up too high. I'll lift that up again. Don't tear it, Laura. Need to tilt it a little bit more, that's all. That's better. This one here, I'll put it level with the bottom of that, and we can have one over there and probably a couple over this side with the dimensionals. I'll start my next sheet. I'll use those others up onto something else. So we can put two over this side and one on the other end. And then it will straddle over the top of the leaves. I can put a little bit of glue in the centre as well. That's going to go there. Should be okay. I'll just put a little bit of glue on the back of that. And I'll put it level with the vanilla matte underneath. Just like so. Very pretty. That could have been hidden. I'll put an embellishment. I've got some embellishments here. We'll decorate that in a minute. I wasn't going to lay that up on dimensionals, but it looks okay. And it's not too thick. It's already thick with the cardstock anyway, so it's not really going to matter. Now, with this piece here, it's going to sit like so. Now, I'm trying to centre it as evenly as I can on the sides and the top. What I'm going to do is put some tear and tape across this top section here. I didn't get my tear and tape out, but I will. Nice and handy for me. You could put liquid glue, but I just want to have it a little bit more secure. I'm going to do a couple of strips at the top, and that it will hold it nice and firmly at the top. You could sort of eyeball how far down it needs to be. Just burnish that. And we'll do the bottom section separate once we get this on. Now all you're doing is folding it into the Z section like that. and then you're sliding that whole bottom section underneath, and this one will come up over the top. Now you can hold this up like so until you've got it all nicely centered. So it's going to go about there. Don't push that down until you're ready, and it's centered pretty much that way and that way, and then we shall press it down. So that will stick it to the top half like so. Then I'm going to put liquid glue all over this bottom piece. It's such an easy fold to do. Get a little bit close to the edges. You could put tape on this piece as well if you wish. Now all I'm going to do is hold that like that, bring the whole piece over and close it shut. Give it a bit of a press down. It's not overly thick. It may cost you a little bit more postage than normal, but if you're handing it out to someone, it will be fine. It's not too thick, and that's how that works. Nice and even in the center. Now I shall put some embellishments. I've got these. I'll show you the stamp sets I used in a sec. These are the Druzy adhesive backed elements. Very pretty embellishments. They've got a little detail on them. I'll put one there so it finishes off that little piece, and maybe one up here, and I'll put one up the top, trying to scatter them, one up in this corner. So we've got them like so. Finished with those. Now the greetings I got from Merry Christmas is from this Reindeer Fun. That's that one there, gold embossed. And then Wishing You A is from the Greetings of the Season. That's a really good greeting, that, because you can pair it with anything. You could do it for a happy birthday or anything, or Wishing You a New Year, Christmas, any of those, and even birthdays. And then my greenery is from the DSP, where I've cut out, and I've used these dies. They go with the designer series paper to cut out the dies. There's no greetings on that set. And that is my card for today. That is so, so pretty. It is for a special friend that I'm giving it to. So I hope she enjoys that. And that's it from me. That's my birthday one there. So you've got a couple of choices. You could leave, I have embossed the background of this one. This is the Regal Flora DSP and the stamp set and all. And I've embossed that with those dotted circles at the back. So you can, I've just stamped all images all over those. But this one here, I've used the DSP in the background, which is totally different. But I've got the measurements and all there for the DSP if you choose to put DSP on the top of that mat as well. That is it from me today. I don't think I've got anything else to mention. Hope you have a lovely week, and I shall catch you all again next Monday at 9 AM. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.